on Drury Lane.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. And oh, what a beautiful day. Oh, it was another weekend morning back in the kitchen on Drury Lane. And oh, it was time to make the muffins. Oh, but fast asleep was I from making muffins all night long. But this time, I had a horrible dream. I dreamed that a huge storm came about while I was in a ship far from the peaceful shore. You know, whether we like it or not, storms are an inevitable part of life. It was once said that there is one thing about storms. Either you're in a storm, just coming out of a storm, or soon enough, you'll be headed into a storm. Oh my! Job puts it this way: man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. In fact, if you can honestly say that you've never faced a storm in life, then just keep on living. You know, this reminds me of a particular tree called the palm tree that often gets tossed and thrown in the midst of storms. Have you seen a palm tree before? In fact, it says in Psalms 92:12 that the righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. Now, did you know that the palm tree is the only tree alive that seems to grow faster in the middle of a storm than suddenly during normal conditions? In fact, palm trees bend into long shapes during storms and grow at a faster rate during the storm, but they never break. They somehow find a way to flourish at just the point when life seems to get more difficult. And guess what? So can you. You can find strength in the midst of a storm and grow even more during it. Recently, I met Joellen and Tom Parsons from the Haiti Mission School Project. Although they recently faced a huge storm called Hurricane Matthew that devastated the country of Haiti, they're still finding a way to flourish. Now let's learn more about how they were able to bend under the pressure of a storm, but grow just like a palm tree and not break. Come along. Let's take a look.
So, good news. I just got word from Regan. School is restarting today.
Wow.
Some of the kids came on Thursday. A few came on Friday, but they're coming en masse today. They got the tarps up. The structures are ready. The teachers are there. Everything's going on.
And there's some tents coming in a couple of weeks, aren't there?
Oh, we hope so, but it's Haiti, you know.
Oh, hi. We're Tom and Joellen Parsons. We have a school in Haiti, which we've been sponsoring for the last 10 years, and we're glad to have a chance to tell you about our school and where we came from.
You know, babe, it's our 10th anniversary. well, not yours and mine. Ours is almost 50, but it's our 10th anniversary for the school, and I've just been thinking back, like, how did we get into this? And thinking about back in 2005 when we visited all those little churches in the mountains around Jeremy, and how they talked about their hopes and their dreams and how everybody really wanted a school. And so we thought, wow, we'll go home and find somebody to do that. And now look where we are. Nobody wanted to do it, of course, and so we felt like God called us, and here we are with a primary school, full primary school, 6 grades. We've got 18 students in a secondary school nearby. They eat every day. They have fresh water. Wow, who would have thought about that?
It's amazing, isn't it? Just amazing.
So, why are we doing this?
It's really a good question. Why are we doing it? I ask myself that all the time, but I think it's really because it was one of those things that just developed. You know, we didn't have the faintest idea when we started this out that it was going to be what it is today. We started out with a 1 kindergarten class, and as far as I was concerned, that was it. And then the next year, of course, there was those kids moved up, and we had another kindergarten class, and then another kindergarten class, and pretty soon we had 6 grades. And,
Do you remember that first kindergarten class? There were 24 of them. They were ages 4 through 14. Can you imagine starting to school at age 14?
Anywhere from about 3 feet high to 6 feet high. I remember those kids. There's quite a bit. And they've gone through, and some of them are on into middle school now, and we're supporting them there, paying for scholarships at the nearby secondary school. So it's been quite a journey. I surely didn't expect to be here.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't think it all happened by accident. I think God called us to do this thing, and keeps providing opportunities, and looks like we're having a new opportunity now.
New opportunity now, right? So. Haiti's a part of the island that's shared with Dominican Republic. It's about a 4-hour flight from JFK, and it's a fascinating country. I fell in love with it the first time I went, because it's I don't know. It's the people and all of that. It is a poverty-stricken nation. It's the poorest nation in our hemisphere, and which makes for real interesting situations. We ended up going there because of, somebody in our church was going back and forth to Haiti. They had a family relationship there, and so I traveled down with them one year, and then I invited Joellen the next year, and then just ended up happening that we just kept going. But this the situation in Haiti, it blows your mind, because there's all kinds of what real poverty is. I've seen poverty in some places, but I have never seen it like it was in Haiti. We go to Jeremy. It's a little town out in the. If you look at your finger, this is Haiti. This is Port-au-Prince here, and out here is Jeremy. We go to Jeremy, and then our little school is about an hour from there by motorcycle and foot. So that's how we get to our school. The school is really way out in the mountains. It's like I say, you ride a motorcycle for half an hour over some really, really rough roads, and then we park the motorcycles and we walk to the school from there, and that's another 45 minutes down a very steep embankment and up another steep one, and it's so I don't know why we ever got out there in the middle of nowhere, but that's where the kids are. So we started our school out there.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about where the school is and how it came to be, and maybe we'll just share a few stories about some of the things that really have impacted the school over the last 10 years. And I think one of the things that impacted the school in a real major way was the earthquake that happened in Port-au-Prince in 2010. Now, Port-au-Prince is many hours away from where we are. One of the things that happened when they had the earthquake in Port-au-Prince is it drove people out of Port-au-Prince and into the countryside and back to their homes and back to their roots. And when that happened, people came all the way from Port-au-Prince back to La Bastille, and they moved into these little two-room homes with families that were already kind of filling out the walls and with people who really didn't have enough food and didn't have enough water and didn't have enough space. But their family, and there's always room enough for at least one more and maybe a whole bunch more in Haiti. So people did come back, and so there wasn't enough to eat and there wasn't enough to drink. And these children were coming in from Port-au-Prince who didn't have anywhere to go to school. So it impacted our school in a big way. And we have a story about one of our students who came. She was on her way to school, home from school, when the earthquake happened in Port-au-Prince, and when she reached her home, it was destroyed, and all of her family had died in the earthquake. And so she started off and to try to get to her grandmother's house at La Bastille. And she walked for a ways, and then there are big trucks that were traveling back and forth between Port-au-Prince and Jeremy. They're like cattle trucks here in the United States, and they were loaded with people, and so people helped her onto this truck and brought her all the way to Jeremy. And so she was able to find helped her find her grandmother. So she started coming to our school. She wasn't the only one. There were many who came. And when all of this happened and there wasn't enough food, we had talked for a long time about starting a food program. And so this seemed like a time when God was calling us to do that. So we bought bowls. We bought big they call them kabats. They're big pots, and lots of rice and lots of beans, and we started feeding our students at that point in time. Now we have 150 students, and we feed them a hot meal every day that they come. Many of the people have moved back to Port-au-Prince now, but we still feed all of our students, and it costs maybe 35 cents a day to feed a student, or maybe $65 a year. We pay 2 women to cook. We buy all of our food locally, so we try to support the economy and the local people as we think about how to do our school. And the other thing that happened after the earthquake is there was cholera. The epidemic started in the Haiti area. So our next major project, was our cistern. And our cistern is right beside the big church here. And we trap water off of the roof of the church, and it drains into the cistern. And then we have a water purification system. It kind of comes out this little drain at the bottom, and then we have a water purification system that we clean the water so the children are able to drink. And you can see these pictures of the filtration system and the kids drinking. And I tell you, it brought tears to my eyes and joy to my heart to drink water, fresh water, clean water with them the first time I got there after the cistern was rebuilt. And the next big event in the life of our school was Hurricane Matthew, which, of course, most of you know, occurred in October. When that happened, it went over the end of the peninsula that our school is located on, and it totally destroyed the new church and the old church building. The little building out back was the only thing that was left, part of that, and the cistern. And the cistern, of course, it wasn't able to fill up anymore because there were no buildings to drain off of. We put up a temporary system so we can continue to fill that. And the people in the area are still using that, and some of the water purification systems that we brought with us. So right after Hurricane Matthew, a friend of mine and I went to Haiti. And we stayed there for about 10 days or 2 weeks. While we were there, we went up to the school. I ran into a man at the hotel where we were staying, and he was from the medical society, the Haitian Medical Society. He was the head of that, and he had medical teams in the Jeremy area. So I told him what we were doing and where we were up in the La Thiboye, La Bastille area, and he said, "Oh my goodness," he said, "my family is from La Thiboye." He said, "I want to take a medical team up there." And so we planned that and left a few days later and took a medical team up there. They have had no services, and the little clinic that was there had been wiped out. And we provided medical care for I think upwards to about 150 people. We invited all of our students and their families and the people from the La Bastille Church, and they came, many of them, and sat outside Sister Lucienne's house all day, many of them waiting for medical care. And the medical team was awesome. They started left the hotel at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they never took a break till they got back about 5:30 or 6 o'clock that evening. As the people came, for medical care, we had taken Sawyer water filter systems. They're a bucket water filter system that will filter up to 170 gallons of water a day. And we gave those to each family or each group of families that lived nearby each other so that they would have clean water to drink after the hurricane. And while the people were visiting with the doctor, a friend of mine and I went up to the school to see what the damage was, and the damage was so bad that I didn't even recognize the path that I had walked for the last 10 or 12 years to get up there. I almost lost my way, but we did make it up, and the school itself was totally destroyed. And the main church was totally destroyed. The only thing that was really left was the cistern. And we saw one of the women who lives right behind where the school was located, and she told us the story. We heard so many stories, and each person we would meet, we would say, "What was it like for you?" So we heard so many stories. But this woman's story was that the hurricane, the worst part of the hurricane came about 5:30 in the morning, and it was still dark but beginning to get light. And she said it had been raining all night and the wind had been blowing all night, and she said suddenly it got still, and then the roof just exploded off of our house, and the rain had started pouring in and the wind was blowing. So we ran to the church, and we thought that would be safe. So we went inside the church, and we were there for just a few minutes, and the walls started crumbling around us, and the roof came off of that. And so we ran to the Sylvain's house, the next house over, she said, and we ran in there. It was still standing, but all of a sudden the roof came off of it, and the rain was coming in there, and the wind was blowing terrible. The trees were falling down around us. So we just ran back to our own house and stayed there and stood there in the rain until the wind had calmed down. And so she was kind of there as the church collapsed and the school collapsed and her house collapsed and the Sylvain's house collapsed, and she said it was only really by the grace of God that they survived.
So, Joellen, I know that a lot of the people who are watching this are going to wonder how it is they can get involved in the school or helping us. So maybe you could just give them a kind of a picture of that.
Oh, okay. I'd be glad to do that. Before the hurricane, when our school was actually in session, it would cost about $65 a year to send a student to school. And that included their uniforms and their supplies and the teacher's salaries and their supplies, and the desks, benches, chalkboards, those things. And it cost about $65 a year to feed one of our students. And we aren't really certain what it's going to cost. When we really get back into full session, we're hopeful that we will know very soon, since the students are returning this week. But as soon as the crisis is over, we are going to begin to do some more longer-term planning about how to rebuild the school and how to reestablish some of the other programs that we had, and to continue to build on the hopes and dreams that we had before the hurricane.
But I also know that people want to know, can I send clothes or can I send, supplies, that sort of thing. And that's something that's a real issue for us. We can't do that because the only way we can get anything into Haiti is what we carry in our suitcases on the plane. And of course, you know about the situation on the plane these days. So we really just need financial support is what we need.
Right.
The other thing I thought I'd tell them is that there is a website that they can go to and learn more about the school if they want to, and it's HaitiMissionSchool.org, just plain old HaitiMissionSchool.org, and they can go there and they can find more about the school anytime.
Good.
Yeah.
Good thought. And some people have wondered how they might help if they might be able to actually go to Haiti. And I must say, we have taken groups in the past, and I've never had one who said that they didn't want to go right back again. Not that everyone can. But unfortunately, since the hurricane, there's been some political unrest in Jeremy, in the town where we stay, and it's unsafe for Blancs, that would be white people, Americans, to be there right now, or I would probably actually be there right now. But I do hope to make a trip later this month and be part of receiving the tents to set them up for school and restarting the food program and helping to purchase the supplies and do some of the things, some of the planning with our board there in the Jeremy area and in the La Bastille areas about some long-term goals and how we're going to make this program actually better than it was before. But it is very difficult to take anything but people and money right now.
So one of the other things I think that people are interested in is, can they go along as a part of a team to Haiti? And so we're wondering about that and how they would keep in touch about that. And so, what do you think about that?
Well, we do hope to resume taking teams, and our teams have come together. It's been very interesting how our teams have come together. It almost is like one of those mighty acts of God. A thing comes up and people kind of join in and they hear about it and they join in and say, oh, I want to join in. I want to do that. I want to be part of that. I want to be part of the ice screening program. Oh, I want to be part of the freshwater program. I had some people contact me recently about wanting to develop a medical team. So if you have some ideas or thoughts about things you want to do in Haiti, we would love to hear from you. You can contact us through our website or through our email address, HaitiMissionSchool@gmail.org or by phone. .com.
Right.
I'm sorry, .com. I'm obviously not the techie here. And let us know if you have an interest in going. And as we plan these trips in the future, we would be glad to let you know. And in the meantime, what we need to be able to do is to plant more seeds, to start replanting trees. I have a friend who's in the process of doing that. 10,000 trees going. I think it's in May. We need to keep feeding our students and helping their families until their gardens can be restored. It will be many years before the fruit trees will be back, except for banana trees, which will take about 9 to 12 months. So the people in the countrysides really are in desperate need of help in any way that you can as we plan to rebuild a school and make plans for that in the future.
One of the things that we have been struggling with ourselves is learning the language in Haiti, which is a Creole, a French-based Creole. And so one of the fun things that happened one day is early on we went and listened to a class in first grade, and they were trying to greet us in English, and it'll be fun for you to share in that video, watching the kids sing to us in English. So Haiti education system is a little bit different from our own education system too, because in Haiti they do a lot of rote memorization. They learn to repeat things, and the professor says something and they repeat it back. And the other thing is that as the kids get older, they first start learning in Creole. But as they get older, they have to learn in French, which becomes it is the national official language. So all kids who get through the 5th or 6th grade will be fluent in French and also Creole. Some of them are then beginning to learn other languages as well. Here's a video of them learning right and left, and that's a fun one to watch as the kids respond. And the more the professor does it, the more energized the kids get. And I really enjoyed watching that myself.
They have the best, nicest place for the class.
Gauche and droite,
right and left.
côté sorti, côté aller. Mais yuna gauche, yuna droite lady, qui côté sorti, qui côté yuna gauche, yuna droite lady Timon.
We really appreciate your spending some time with us today and learning a little bit about our project in Haiti. And we just want to end up as we would end up in Haiti. I'm going to say to Joellen, Malay, which means I'm going now, and you're going to respond.
Nawayanko, I'll see you again, I hope, S3. And our best Creole, we want to invite you to our website.
Okay, there's one more thing. Another way that you could support us is I've written a book of poems about Haiti. And it's available on Amazon.com, and all the proceeds from that go to support the school. I think it's $8.99, if I'm not mistaken, on Amazon. So you're welcome to take a look. It's some humorous and some very sad and some very striking poems, I think, about Haiti.
Well, welcome back. I'm still trying to bake the muffins. But finally, I think we're finished. I hope you enjoyed our show today. If you would like to make an order or donate muffins to charity, then please go to the website listed below. With every muffin order, we donate muffins to the charity of your choice. I call it giving your dough to charity. I also encourage you to donate directly to the featured charity today by going directly to our website and getting their information. Thank you very much for watching, and keep on dancing through life by giving to others through love. Let me finish baking these muffins, and see you next time.